morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Just Plain Living, and I'm John Gray, and I'm proud to be here.
I'm proud to be here too, John. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
I'm proud to be anywhere.
Yeah.
Proud to be alive.
That is the truth. Me
Just
too.
proud to be walking.
Yeah.
And
Walking and talking.
Walking and talking. Waiting on more rain. We're so excited about that.
You think we'll get a little rain?
Think we might. We've had a lot.
Hey,
You know, Russ Barrett's in the audience today from the Lions Club, and I bet he loves this rain. That's got to be really good for what he does.
he can find a hole inside somewhere where he can go.
Russ Barrett, in case you don't know, folks, is the area's premier builder. And
Construct.
yeah, absolutely. So that's why we think.
And the thing about Construct that a whole lot of people don't realize, and I was just talking to Russ, he's working on a little project downtown for Prescott. And usually when there's Construct, there's a bunch of destruct that has to go on before you can construct.
I bet, especially on that job, because that's okay.
Yeah, when you go into a space that's already there, you're cutting up concrete floors and redoing, and in old buildings particularly, redoing wiring and stuff like that and plumbing to make them to what you need them to be. So
It's a huge process.
oh yeah. But he's the best. He's best around here, and he's got Mr. Orr over there with him, Mr. Clint. They gonna have some exciting things to talk about today.
Great.
They probably have something to do with the Lions Club. I don't know for sure, but I'd imagine.
Yeah, and I do know that it's Lions Club reverse draw time. But anyway, we'll see.
That's right. We bought a ticket for that.
Yeah. When you mentioned that, I just remembered. I think I was supposed to have brought a check today.
I bet you were.
Which I forgot.
Oh,
but
of course.
I'll be coming back, so we'll take care
You
of
better
that.
be coming back.
Right. So.
I see you got your poetry with you.
Speaking about the rains, here you go. Here's a good one. I wrote this the 17th, which is 2 days ago. 2:52. The Beatles did it every time they performed. Here Comes the Sun. I wish they would come to Tennessee in February.
I do too.
Because it's brown out there, folks.
It's real brown.
It is brown.
I don't
And
know.
it's going to be that way for several days.
Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We may be swimming out of here.
Yeah.
Old man winter is about to end. Spring is around the bend. 2 lanes, 4 lanes, 6 lanes, $1. All for a road trip. Stand up and holler. Daytona!
That's cute.
Daytona.
Isn't that coming up, or was it last week? Daytona 500?
I think it was last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
I believe,
So it shows you how much I know about racing.
I forgot who won, but I remember they had a major wreck. 21 cars, I think.
Ooh, that's big
That's
time.
right.
That's about
I
half
got
the
a
field.
whiff of that.
So.
That's big time.
That's scary to me. I don't know how they do it.
And then the other morning I woke up and I was thinking I had Doctor, Lawyer, Indian Chief on my mind.
Did you write something?
Yeah,
with
well,
that?
I wrote rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, all have the seeds to spawn a creative.
True.
So no matter how different they are, they're the same in one right is what comes out of them can end up being any of the rest of them. They're not put in a box just because what they are. Their children can become anything they want.
That's true. And people that are put in a box put themselves there.
That's true. You're
and
right.
You need to be careful of that.
You're right.
I will not be boxed.
Well, we never have been able to put a fence around you. You know, I was asking Jim just a minute ago, and I want to take a minute to pontificate about how many years we've been doing this. Jim, it's 28 years now?
The show started,
years?
I'm pretty sure, around 1990. And
Were y'all still at the Legion?
well,
No.
the show, this particular show, Living, started at City Hall.
Okay.
And one of the reasons for that was, of course, the show was live to begin with for many years. Even when John came aboard, it was still live. It was live, and City Hall had a live feed where we broadcast the city board meetings. So the show started at City Hall around mid 1990 or something.
And whose idea
like that.
was it? How did it get?
It was actually Joe Henry's idea.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe at that time was the general manager of Rifkin, which was our cable provider at that time. And Joe had an idea that he wanted to do a live community events program. And so when we started out, there was, I believe, 4 hosts. Benny Garrick and I, and Sandy Lindeman was one, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember
who the other
one was. There actually, we might have had 6 or something like that, and so we sort of split it up, so that we'd have different hosts every week, or we'd rotate those over 3 weeks, and somehow it ended up. Everybody else drifted away, and it was just Benny and I for a while.
When there's no money involved, people tend to drift away.
They do.
They definitely, there definitely was no money involved at that point.
What's kept us here?
Well, the insanity of it all,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
What's kept us here is when Joe did that, he was the cable manager, and so all the obligations that the franchise of a cable company coming into a city like this involves having local access channels, so many by federal mandate at that point.
At that point,
and
yes.
you had to do whatever the city wanted you to do, like film the board meetings and this and that and the other. And so there were cable employees. Matter of fact, Julia, who works with us, our Julia, our love, who's worked with us for years, worked for the cable company, and they bought all the equipment, cable company did, and provided all of the people to do that other than the host, right?
Right.
Well, then when Rifkin postured to sell the charter, they cut all the staff, fired all the cable managers, and we had programming going, and that's about the time, a little before that's when I got involved. We had to start selling advertising and become a real company.
Yeah, when did y'all get in here?
We came here in 2002.
2002.
Yeah. So what that meant is we needed, and that's something I wanted to talk about this morning, the support of our viewers and of the community to where we could just even exist, because we had to buy time from cable. We had to, at that point, we had to pay the city of Tullahoma, 4% of every dollar we made, 7%, something like that.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
And this has been 28 years.
Y'all are to be congratulated.
When Carol Burnett got an award recently, she made one of the most beautiful speeches I've ever heard about not only being honored, and I feel this way, and I know Jimmy does, and I know you do as well, being honored to be able to do this.
And give back.
And have people out there who care enough about us. And I mean, I have people walk up to me all the time and say, "Hey, there's my TV man."
Yeah.
They don't even know my name.
I don't know who you are, but
that's my TV man there. Well, along with that goes, and she said this so eloquently, an obligation to do things right.
Yeah.
And to be humble about what you do. And Teddy Bart, that's why I put this stone here. My dear friend Teddy Bart, who was one of the best journalists I've ever known, and
who had a program on this network for quite a couple of years,
was on Channel 4, a political analyst, said, it's your obligation to sit in the middle of whatever's going on and allow people to voice their opinion without you
judging them for their opinion.
And, it took. It was years before I even knew how he voted, whether he was a Democrat or Republican, because he did that public forum show downtown Nashville, and they'd come out of the legislation, and he'd have governors and senators and people, and he was so good at it that you never knew which side he was on. And that's the obligation that she was talking about, is to present folks with entertainment, clean, good entertainment, information.
Right.
And it's our charge to do that. And I just wanted to thank everybody from my point of view, and I'm sure from everybody that's been involved here for years, thank you for the opportunity to allow us to do what we do. I'm very honored by that.
Yeah.
And I hope we've served you well.
Yeah, and I can tell we've been around for a long time because when we first started doing this, we had to do some pretty crude things to make stuff work.
Yeah.
You know? I remember we started out, we had one little computer, and it was a Radio Shack computer.
Yeah.
And the only reason we had that little computer is the only one on the market that had a video out on it, so you could create,
yeah.
graphics. Prior to us getting that was a big step when we got that, because prior to doing that, to produce the credits for like this show here, we had to hold up cue cards and film them with a camera. And we had to put it all down at the same time. You play the music, hold up the cue cards.
That in itself is a challenge to get that in order.
To get it all to work. Sometimes on a new show it would take. We spent on the telethon one time about 4 or 5 hours trying to get all that stuff to come together.
Get it synchronized.
You know, and
it's a challenge.
to sync up.
Well, and you know, there's these two guys that are, and there's sometimes there's more than two. Sometimes there's a bunch in the audience, and there'll be more in before the day's over. But the Joe Orr. The Joe Orrs of the world and the Russ Barretts of the world who have been behind us and helped us through the years by buying advertising
And that means
on
a
our
lot.
stuff. Well, because we don't get a grant.
Right.
We don't get to go to the city and say, hey, I need $5 million or something to do so and so. We've got to go out and sell advertising just like everybody else.
Just to stay open.
Just to keep the doors open, and we've employed through the years no telling how many people. I just want to say thank you from your TV man, you folks out there, John Gray. But I'm honored to be your TV man, and hope that we have an opportunity to continue to do that, and hope that we continue to receive the support from our community and our sponsors that allows us to be here. Because where would the three of us go to find a stage?
Well,
I
think Peggy was good enough. She could have probably found one.
Oh, yeah, Peggy did it herself.
I don't know about that.
We've got, about that, just a short piece right here. This year's going to be our 40th year of Peggy's creation, South Jackson Goes Country. 40 years, my dear.
I know, I started that when I was 12.
Yes, you did. Smartest 12-year-old and best looking 12-year-old I've ever seen.
She was.
It's been a lot of years.
I'm
surprised that it's still going.
And that's an honor as well, to be able to take that stage and take kids and adults and create what you create and pull it all off. 3 days, 80 songs, 100 plus people. You know, thank you, all of you out there, for the support you give us here and our arts and creative folks in this community. You're the best. We'll be right back after these commercials. Go buy something from them.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out this 2018 Kia Stinger, yours today for only $370 a month. Kia is the power to surprise with its 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Stop by Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma and let us tell you why we are #1 in customer satisfaction. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron, and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory, and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Can you imagine a world without beauty? Without color? Without creativity? Without art? Well, neither can we. Keep arts alive and experience all kinds of arts and crafts at the 2nd Annual Arts Alive Tullahoma on the newly renovated lawn of the South Jackson Civic Center, May 25th and 26th. For details, visit TullahomaArtsCouncil.com and come spend the day at our fun, family-friendly arts festival.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman. And this is Pat Welch, and we are here today for segment 75 of the Conversations with John and Pat. Kind of a milestone.
Yes, it's kind of a milestone.
And the crowd's starting to pick up, too, if you hadn't noticed.
Well, I'm going to do sort of a sad song.
Okay.
Pat, I don't mean to do it, but the Carters made this famous, and a lot of people, I like it, too.
Well, we may need to idle down just a little bit.
Well, we'll build that story back up.
Yeah.
You've got another story. We don't want to make it sad all the way through.
Okay.
I was standing by my window on a cold and winter's day when I saw that hearse come rolling to take my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, 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 please drive slow, 'cause I know this body you carry, Lord, I hate to see her go. I will follow close behind her, try to hold on and be brave. But I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
That was good, John. That's a little bit more of a somber rendition than the normal
song sometime, but it's a good one. It's well written. It's sung all over the mountains of Appalachia and in Nashville and all those places.
It was good, really good.
Can I tell you a little story before we start?
I hope you will.
Well, my brother, he can't hear real good, and he and my sister-in-law were sitting on their back porch not long ago, and he had his hearing aid turned off, and he was reading a book. And my sister-in-law was looking out over their yard and saw such a beautiful backyard, things they'd planted, and thought about their children and about how good a husband Jimmy's been and how good a father he's been to the girls. And she thought about Jimmy, how he had provided. She looked over at Jimmy and said, "Jimmy, I'm proud of you." And he turned to her and said, "Well, I'm tired of you too." That was just a joke. But it
was a good one.
Seems like it applies to someone who can't hear real good.
Real well, John, would be. And I caught myself with the wrong past tense of the verb run not long ago and have regretted it ever since. I hope you'll correct me next time.
My wife corrects me a lot.
Well, we both need that.
So we've got a segment coming up, and she wanted me to pronounce the word correctly, not end it with the wrong.
I think I've mentioned to you before we would like to be a little bit better grammar-wise on this show, but there's no denying that Dizzy Dean did a good job on his announcing in he always used the past tense of the word verb slide was slud.
We just hope that you people accept us the way we are.
That's right. Just like they did Dizzy.
Go ahead.
Am I on
Yes,
this
sir.
one? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I've got a little bit of a story and so forth to tell, and if our viewership will allow me, it will get back to Tullahoma. And the topic today is going to be the Brown family and from Cookeville, which the two of the more famous members were Mack and Watson Brown, and they would have played high school football in Cookeville. I believe Watson, his senior year, was in the season of '66, and Mack, his younger brother, was a running back on that team. Watson was a quarterback, and a really, really good one. And he ended up going to Alabama, to Vanderbilt, after he was recruited to Alabama by Bear Bryant, and played baseball and football there. And in 1969, he quarterbacked a team that beat Alabama when they were ranked. I believe the score was 14-10. One of the bigger and acclaimed victories for Vanderbilt. And then Mack played with him for a while, and he transferred to Florida State. Well, their coaching days are pretty famous. And Watson, let's see, he was assistant several places, but I think his first head job was at Austin Peay, and from Austin Peay he took offensive coordinator position at several places, and then became a head coach at Cincinnati, Rice, then at Vanderbilt, then University of Alabama Birmingham, and he was AD there, and then he went to Tennessee Tech and retired there. And one thing a little bit on Watson, he was a great high school athlete and great collegiate athlete. And his senior year, he got his knee hurt, and he relied on his crutches. He put too much weight on his armpits, which I think is incorrect usage of crutches, and it affected his shoulder where there was some nerve damage done in his left shoulder, and he made all-conference center fielder on the baseball team for Coach Smitto, who was a great. He won Larry Smitto won several SEC championships and ended up starting the Sounds franchise in Nashville. But Watson's arm or shoulder was damaged so bad that he caught fly balls that he couldn't get his glove over his shoulder. He'd have to take his throwing hand and lift his glove up to catch the ball, and still made all conference. Now that's a good baseball player.
Yes, sir.
Mack, his brother, was probably maybe not quite as good an athlete, but he was a good athlete. He played running back at Vanderbilt and also at Florida State after he transferred. And I've heard both of them speak, and Watson and Mack both agree that Mack took better jobs. But his first head coaching job was Appalachian State, and then he went to Tulane, University of North Carolina, and then, of course, at Texas, where he won a national championship. And Mack I believe this year has been voted in the National College Hall of Fame, which, of course, is an absolute big deal. But
he's a football commentator too.
He's a football commentator. Now put those pictures up there, Philip, please. There's Watson's on the left at Tennessee Tech, and if you've seen Mack on TV recently, you'll notice his hair is quite a bit grayer, but I'm jealous of him. He's got hair. Those two brothers. Now we're going back to Tullahoma. Watson, while he was at Tennessee Tech, came and spoke at a Boy Scout fundraiser in Tullahoma, because there were two Tullahoma football players on the squad at Cookeville at that time. And so he came and spoke, and ends up, I had just a short conversation with him, but their grandfather, his name was Eddie, and he went by Jelly Watson. And that's how Watson got his first name. His first name came from his grandfather's last name. His mother was a Watson. And he was a really, really successful high school coach. In fact, he was the first coach, I think, in Cookeville, like in either 22 or 25, something like that. And he coached through, I think, the 28 season maybe, and then he went to Salina and was there a couple of years, or about 10 years, and came back to Cookeville and coached through the 1958 season. And he may be in the TAAA Hall of Fame, but he is a legend in the Cookeville area. Well, Watson had told me that they played Tullahoma at Tullahoma either in 57 or 58, which would either be the first season it was on Wilkins Stadium or the second season, and that Tullahoma beat them, gave Jelly Watson his worst defeat ever there. And Mack and Watson were 7 and 6 years old and on the sideline for that game, which I thought that may not interest many people, but it sure interested me to have two guys of that kind of stature there when they could still remember that from the time they were 6 and 7 years old.
You say there was an excellent football player at that time, Curly Simmons. Didn't he have something to say about it?
Well, that ended up being later when I searched, and he was confused on the year.
Yeah.
I went to a Cookeville game later on, and that was in 65, I believe, and that may have been close to when our good friend and our management representative for
Mr. Gray.
Mr. Gray would have been playing. But we beat them really bad, and Curly Simmons kicked off. He was a great athlete, and I think it was 7 times, and every one of them was into the end zone, and one of them was over the end line. And that didn't happen very often in high school football at the time. And Curly was a great athlete, and he followed. They came after that Watson Brown deal. And we had talked earlier. We thought at one time that may have been the same night, but it was not. It was a little bit earlier when one of the last years of his grandfather's coaching. But not many people knew that Watson and Mack Brown, two famous, nationally famous coaches,
Mack
were
being at Cookeville when I see him on television.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he did well.
Mm-hmm. John, that pretty well wraps up segment 75.
That was a good story about Tullahoma and how it relates to Cookeville.
That's correct. And we've got plenty of stories to go if management will allow. Thank you all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now Russ Barrett from Barrett Construction here in Tullahoma, and Clint Orr with Weichert Realties, I guess. You're still with Weichert?
I'm still with Weichert.
Okay, all right, okay.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. Why would he?
Yeah, exactly.
He's bound to have a gravy train there.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it a gravy train?
That train is no longer running.
Actually,
A lot of hard work.
if your dad's the boss, it's probably harder than working for someone you don't know.
He's a property manager too, aren't you, Clint?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sell real estate, do property management and auctions as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Russ can build anything in the world for you.
Well, if you got enough money, when people ask, can we get that done? Well, you can build anything if you've got the funds to do it.
Yeah. And he did some work for me once back when the tornado came through here, and I've got to tell you, it was a super job. I didn't really have to do anything. I called them up the morning that it happened, and within a couple of hours, they had guys out there fixing the roof to where it wouldn't destroy anything that was in the house. Your guy, Sam, took over.
Yep.
He dealt with the insurance. He did the whole thing, and I really didn't have to do anything.
Well, we do a lot of that, a lot of the insurance work. And that you're speaking of the November tornado in 16.
16, wasn't it?
That was a tough one, wasn't it? In that area, the trees did most of the damage.
Right.
The wind toppling those trees, and several of those trees we had to take off houses with cranes. They were so large.
Yeah.
And that was a tough one. I remember that morning you just couldn't even get around the neighborhood.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Max Christopher was working on his son's house and put me on a four-wheeler. I think it was Max, and we couldn't even get it through the yards on the four-wheeler.
Right.
We had to get off and walk to get to Frank Glass's house, I think.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That was tough.
We don't often see that in Tullahoma.
No. They just had the tornado F2 out toward Scenic View Golf Course out in that area.
Right.
It was pretty a lot of damage out there.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have to know somebody that can help you in that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah.
All right, you guys are here with the Tullahoma Downtown Lions Club.
We are.
That's correct.
All right. Okay. And you confirmed that I was correct. It is about you were going to talk about the reverse draw coming up.
That's correct. Yeah, it's a charity dinner. It is maybe the biggest fundraiser, Clint.
I think so.
Two of the biggest fundraisers we have are the golf tournament we have in August, and this charity dinner that we have in March 16th. Is
March
that right?
16th at the Coffee County Convention Center in Manchester. The social will start at 5:30, dinner at 6:30. And we're looking to give away about $8,500 in cash prizes.
But you can't get that money if you don't buy tickets.
That's right.
You got to
buy tickets.
Right.
Have an opportunity.
We'll feed you. It's enjoy a night out and with us. Have a dinner for two. We'll have a choice of prime rib or Parmesan chicken, and tickets for two is $125. That's all going to charity. We have several local charities we deal with and donate to, and we're big into the site with the Lions Club.
Conservation.
And yes, we do the eyeglass assistance programs. We do hearing aid assistance. We do the screening, the hearing screening and the vision screening for all the schools in the local
That's a lot of fun
communities.
too. Clint's become a big part of that, where we screen and do hearing testing on the for all the schools and the kindergartens and preschool, pre-K. It's a lot of fun to do that. And interact with kids.
You guys somehow or other, aren't you hooked up with a hospital or somebody where some of the results from this?
Yeah, they'll send. They'll send the results to Vanderbilt, and they'll if we have any of the children that don't pass the eye exam,
right,
they'll send that to Vanderbilt, and then they'll reach back out, and there's a disease that we can find with the camera that if it's not taken care of early, 5, 6 years old or before, it can't be taken care of, and so it's very important.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the specifics of that, but I know that I was involved with the Lions Club
I knew you were,
for a number of years.
Yeah.
And at one time I was doing a television piece, and I think Debbie Lamach was doing the hearing test, and we were going to film that. And it was like she says, "Okay, push this button, I believe, when you hear this." And I'm sitting there. I never heard it. I never heard any of that.
I've done the same thing before you're setting up, getting ready for the kids. There will be some quiet area. And, of course, in the construction business and growing up, the rock and roll with the headphones and then the saws and all that stuff, the drills. My high-pitched frequency is gone.
Right. For me, I was in the restaurant lounge business for many years. It was the rock and roll music that got me. So I couldn't hear very well.
We enjoyed it, though.
Absolutely. But this is really a great program because you guys are involved in a lot of things. I know you guys used to help us with the Big Brothers program. Still do.
Right.
And
we've helped deliver the baskets. Right before Christmas, several times. I used to go with Colin. And down to the Legion, and we've done that. One of the things that some of the local stuff is Five Loaves for Kids that we support.
Which is a great program.
Great program. We've just started, and Clint's been big in this, as well as some of the others in the Lions Club. We just started what's called the Lions Locker for the schools. We started out at East with. They've got a room where we've purchased clothing and shoes and so forth, and they put it in there, and then the kids have it available to them if they need it, especially the younger children.
Absolutely, and that is huge.
About to do it at Robert E. Lee. I need to get on that. They've reached out to us, and so we're actually a CEO partner with Robert E. Lee. And so that's been, we've got a reading program that several of the guys do with Robert E. Lee. They go to once a week and read to the classes, and I think we're doing 3 or 4 of the schools.
I think so,
Farrah,
at least. Yeah.
Robert E. Lee and East, and I think that's right.
Most of the elementary.
Yeah, that's Special Olympics. We support Special Olympics, and that's always a lot of fun. And a lot of people in the club go out, and that's a lot of fun to be a part of that and watch that.
And folks, trust me, if the tickets I think are $100.
$125.
$125.
Yeah, but that's a meal for 2 now.
Correct.
Yeah, that's not just one.
And a chance to win money.
And a chance to win money. That's right.
Okay. And so everything in this program nets. These guys that you're seeing here on the stage, as well as all the other Lions Club people in the downtown Lions Club, they got real jobs. So they don't get paid nothing to do this, and you can be rest assured that every dime of the money that you spend that's netted on this project will go to support these projects that the Downtown Lions Club is involved in.
Yeah, and if you're interested in being part of the Lions Club, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to introduce you to some of the projects firsthand that we do.
I'm sure they would. And you guys meet once a week.
Once a week at the country club and have lunch. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can somebody just show up if they want to? And
they
say,
can, absolutely.
I'd like to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Okay. It is. No kidding. It is a great program and a great group of folks out there that are operating that.
It's been fun to be a part of it. Yeah.
And the tickets. If you want to get tickets, you still got plenty of time to get tickets.
Plenty of time. Yeah. You can call me, Clint Orr, at 931-247-1819. And we'll get you hooked up with some tickets for that event on March 16th at, I believe that's a Saturday, at the Conference Center in Manchester.
And you can reach out to me as well at Barrett Construction, 728-2664, or you can call on my cell phone at 581-3054.
Yeah, okay. And again, these guys do a great job with what they're doing. And while you're calling those numbers, if you've got any business you could do with them, it might help them do more volunteer.
Be glad to do that as well.
and move along. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, appreciate you having us on here. It's important what y'all do and letting us promote this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I want to say Clint's the chairman, and he's doing a fantastic job. Last year was his first year, and he broke the record for the most money netted in the project. And he's obviously doing a good job. Joe and Kathy raised him well, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did. Guys, again, thank you so much and lots of luck with this. It's a great program, folks. Give them a call, get some of those tickets. It's fun to go to that event. Even if you don't win anything, it's fun to go to that event, and you can rest assured that your money that you spent for that will be used for a really, really good cause. We'll be right back in just a moment with more living right after this.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I hope you're ready for information from the Hands-On Science Center. I'm here with Sean Amadon, and there's a million things happening in the next few weeks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have all kinds of stuff planned. You know, as usual, things are very exciting over there. First one coming up in just a couple weeks here.
Spring break.
Actually, before spring break, we have our World Wildlife Day.
Tell me about that. I'm not sure what that is.
March 3rd is World Wildlife Day, so places throughout the world are celebrating wildlife and conservation. So we're going to have a real cool special event that day.
So what will that entail?
It's going to be a free event that is Sunday, March 3rd. It'll be from 1 to 5, and it's free for everybody to come out. We're going to have birds of prey demonstrations going on. We have Tennessee Wildlife is going to be there with some stuff.
Birds of prey.
Things like owls and hawks.
I love them.
Yeah,
Don't you love them?
Absolutely. They're amazing animals. So we're going to have some demonstrations with them going on. We're going to see some live reptiles, have shows throughout the day. All kinds of real fun stuff. So
just in case people don't know where the Hands-On Science Center is, you want to give them your address?
Yeah, it's 101 Mitchell Boulevard. So just right there on the edge of town.
Just if you're on your way out across the viaduct going toward Manchester, you can't miss it.
Yep,
just off to the right. And that's a free event.
Yes. Yep.
On the, give me that date again.
March 3rd.
March 3rd,
from 1
which
to 5
is Sunday.
Sunday, March 3rd from 1 to 5.
All people are invited?
Yep, everybody's welcome to come out. All ages. We'll have stuff, for toddlers all the way through adults.
So this is a wonderful time if you've never been to the Science Center to find out what they have and get over there and enjoy some
this is,
information and just fun things.
Yeah, it's part of the new thing we actually recently implemented, our monthly free event series.
Yeah.
So that's the next one coming up, and they've been real popular.
And you have a free event every month. Is it always on Sunday?
No, it varies depending on the days.
Yeah.
There's we had past events were National Kite Flying Day, and those fall on specific days. So I think that one was a Thursday. It just kind of depends.
It just depends on what you have going.
Yep.
Did you think that up, Sean?
Oh no, I did not. Yeah, that's an actual national holiday, National Fly Kite Day.
Well, I'm glad that you're taking advantage of it and doing something neat. And then I know is that spring break
Yes,
is coming up next?
spring break would be the one big thing coming up after that.
What is the dates on spring break?
Spring
I've
break
forgotten.
will be March 21st through March 29th.
And this is a great opportunity if you're a parent that has a job and you would like for your child to do something really entertaining
Absolutely.
plus educational.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I mean, we have themes from, wildlife wonders, awesome astronomy, cool chemistry. Every day is going to be a completely different theme.
Oh, good.
So you can, for spring, you can actually pick and choose days.
So what is the cost for 2 weeks?
Well, for that, it's actually daily. So you can pick and choose the different days that you want, and it's $20 for members and $25 for non-members. And you can just, actually
good
no
deal either
pre-registration required for that either. You can just come on in. So.
You can't get a babysitter for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, you can't get the educational part and the fun part. I mean, what's not
Yeah.
to have fun at the Science Center?
I mean, you can't beat it. There's so much to do.
A lot
I mean,
of
we
people
can
don't
do,
realize that it can be fun. They somehow equate science with something so intellectual
Yeah.
that they can't go have a good time. It's a beautiful place, and it's a wonderful place for your children to get involved. Is there an age limit on that?
For that, that's going to be 6 to 12.
6 to 12.
Yeah, and like you said, there's so much to do. It's always hard to narrow down the themes. That's
Yeah.
I guess 7 days of camp for that, and try and narrow down the themes.
Do you have
is
enough
tough.
help for those? Would you like some volunteers?
We could
maybe?
always use volunteers. We have a constant volunteer recruitment process going on for all these special events, but then also just day-to-day operations and things like that.
I think like any not-for-profit organization,
Right.
everybody needs help. And so if you're interested in this sort of thing, it'd be a wonderful opportunity to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And just call the Hands On Science Center. Don't know if we have the number back there. Do you
It's
know?
931-455-8387.
8387.
Or you can also shoot us an email at hosc@lighttube.net.
Or you can show up at the door. At what time do y'all open?
We are open, we're closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
During the week, we're open from 10 to 5, and then Sundays from 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And a great opportunity. I love what you're doing over there, and I love the animals, and I love the scientific things that are going on. And summer camp coming
Yeah, this one I'm really excited
very
about.
popular, I know.
We've had summer camps in the past, very frequently. This year, we're actually doing something, really bold. We're actually expanding them.
Good.
We're going to have camps every week. I guess the first week and the last week, maybe not. It's 8 full weeks of camps.
Wonderful.
Yeah, last year we did 4 weeks. This time we're actually doing 8 full weeks. It'll be Monday through Friday.
10 till 4.
10 to 4 is the main camp. One big thing we're offering this year, which I think is going to be huge for a lot of, especially the working parents out there, is we are offering before and after care.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so we actually have the
So you could
availability.
actually drop your child off on your way to work?
Yep, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. we're going to have
That's
available
fabulous.
for that care. And these are actually full week camps. In the past, we've done like the spring break where it's
And
just
again,
daily.
is there an age limit on that?
It'll be 6 to 12 also.
6 to 12
Yep.
also.
And you come, for a full week. Instead of having theme days, we're going to have theme weeks. And there's all kinds of different choices. Again, we have
So-
animal ones, engineering ones. We already have all kinds of great speakers lined up.
That's great. So let me ask you, let's say we're doing the animal thing.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of stuff are you doing with the animals?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be from, just meeting up close and personal different animals.
You have a chance to rub a snake?
There'll definitely be a chance to,
What's the
touch
snake's
some
name?
snakes. We have a snake named Jackie.
Jackie
Yeah.
the snake.
Yeah.
Love it.
So lots of stuff like that through learning about ecology, little outings outside where we, go into the creek and do all
Yeah.
kinds of fun activities. We're working on the possibility of actually getting some buses, potentially, to do
Good.
some outings and field trips during the camps as well. So it's a huge thing.
Do y'all have a limit of people that can be involved?
Well, that's the thing. That's also why I'm here,
Yeah.
promoting that today. Is we are doing pre-registration for this.
So you need to go
Yeah.
ahead and line up.
Yeah, we
if
didn't
you
do
want
that
to be
last
there.
year because it was just daily stuff. We need to get pre-registrations going right now. We actually have lots of them
you
already
can make your
going.
plans,
Yeah, so if
and-
you check out our website, it's www.hosc.org.
Hands On Science Center. There we go.
Yep.
And write down
then
that phone number.
Check out the event tab, and then there'll be a link to summer camps.
Right.
And it'll list all the information there, and then the registration forms.
And a full week at camp is $105 for members. That's
Yep,
a
105
really
for
good
members,
deal.
and that's if you just do 1 week. We
Yeah.
actually have a special rate, and we actually already have people pre-register for this for the entire 8 weeks. For members, for the entire 8 weeks, it is
It's 85?
only $85 a week.
That is
I mean,
fabulous,
that-
yeah.
there's nothing anywhere close to, 85 a week for summer camps anywhere around here, as far as I know. I mean,
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, every single week is different. On the list of events, there are 2 different weeks of animals, but they're going to be completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah,
things.
so you can come for the entire 8 weeks and get all new information. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You have a favorite? A favorite subject?
Well, my favorite's always the animal one.
Yeah.
That's my background. I mean, I've come from, work owning a reptile zoo and stuff like that. So that's always one I lean towards. But I love all types of science, but that one's usually my favorite.
I know you haven't been here for very long, but it's getting more. Yep. Are you liking it?
Oh, I love it here. The town is so supportive.
Tullahoma good to you?
Oh, absolutely. I
Well,
love all the support we have.
And I love that you're passionate about what you do. And our time just happens to be up, so don't forget, write that down. Call the Hands on Science Center. Thanks, Sean. I hope you come back anytime.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with more.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive Family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, online credit applications, hometown auto rental, customer testimonials, trade appraisals, certified collision center, service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia-Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Good morning, all you wonderful viewers in TV land. Pleasure to be back with you, and thank you, camera gentlemen, for putting a good, sharp, clear, contrasted picture on the screen. And we always like to share a little Tullahoma history with you. Today, I thought I would touch on the beverage industry. And by that, I mean, where do they get all the beverages in Tullahoma, and where do they come from, and when they get here? Well, the first known beverage bottling works, as I recall, was the Coca-Cola Bottling Works, whose place was in the middle of the Colony Hazard Cooper law offices on the first floor of that first block on Grundy Street. And they had the bottling the bottles washing machine below, and they were all bottles, no cans at all. And they were 6 or 8 ounce bottles of Coca-Cola, and that's all they produced. And they had big tanks upstairs where the syrup came down through the ceiling into the bottling machine. And at first they put hand caps on the bottles, and later they put automatic caps on the bottles. And then they built a new plant on the place out there on Wilson Avenue, and next door to Winans, or Winans was next door to them in 1939, and was there for many, many years. And they served all Camp Forest and those places, and they've expanded many, many times and covered a great many areas in Middle Tennessee. And they later built a new complex out on Highway 55 between Tullahoma and Manchester, a big, big complex out there that offered a lot of services. And just around 1940 or 41, a fellow by the name of Ed Travis came to Tullahoma. He was from Macmillan and built the Dr. Pepper bottling works. It's either on East Warren or East Lauderdale Street, and operated the Dr. Pepper plant there for a number of years. It was headquartered in Dallas, Texas, but anyway, he built that and bottled Dr. Pepper for a long, long time. And Dr. Pepper is being distributed now by the Coca-Cola Company. But anyway, back a number of years ago, where there was a drive-in theater on the left of Highway 55, the Pepsi plant or distribution system came there, and they have been there for a good number of years. And one of the newest and most sought after drinks or beverages is the water. And Sparkles is a place that has Sparkles water, and they're on either South Washington or South Polk Street. They built a new distribution center there, and it's real popular. And then the beer industry had no distribution center in Tullahoma for many, many years, and Mr. Hayes from Chevrolet had, I think they had Pabst Blue Ribbon and Fall City and Gerst and Slits that were some of the real popular brands back then, and they could sell beer in the stores in Tullahoma, but they could not consume any on the premises. Well, of course, that's changed through the years, and now we have 3 large beer distributors here who serve the Middle Tennessee area. And one of them is a big Budweiser distributorship on Washington Street, and the Miller distributor on South Anderson Street, and then there's the Coors. And Coors could not be sold for many years east of Mississippi River, but now it can be sold, and there's a Coors distributorship also on North Washington Street. So there we have it, the different types of cold medicine that is available for, and there's some spirit store around town here that will take part in, there's not distributors for bourbon or anything of that nature, but they do have stores here where they can be obtained. And we thank you for watching, and remember, this is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come. We'll be happy to share it for you. We'll see you next week.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We had a good event at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall here just a while back. It was a Valentine's event, and Peggy Burton and the South Jackson Street Band was down there playing. The food was outstanding, the venue looked wonderful, and the music was just out of sight. I love that good old big band swing. Ooh, baby, it was good. I hope you enjoy some.
This has been a Ron Hackett Music video production. This has been a Ron Hackett Music video production.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see Dabbit Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Folks, we're back, and it's Black History Month. We've made a selection that we hope you'll enjoy about the ABCs of Black History Month.
The ABCs of Black History Month. A is for Africa, the birthplace of humanity and civilization, and the second largest continent in the world. B is for Barack Obama, the first African American president of the United States. C is for the Civil Rights Act, the 1964 law which ended segregation in public places and employment discrimination on the basis of identity. D is for Dred Scott, an enslaved black man who unsuccessfully appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court for his freedom in 1857. E is for Emancipation. President Abe Lincoln freed millions of enslaved people when he issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863. F is for Freedom Riders, civil rights activists who took bus trips called Freedom Rides through the South in 1961 to protest segregated bus terminals. G is for the Greensboro Four, the North Carolina A&T freshmen who sat at a whites-only lunch counter to protest segregation. Their action sparked nationwide sit-ins. H is for the Harlem Renaissance, the intellectual, social, and artistic explosion that occurred in Harlem, other northern cities, and Paris that spanned the 1920s. I is for Ida B. Wells, a journalist and educator who fought against racism, lynching, and sexism. She was also one of the founders of the NAACP. J is for Jackie Robinson, the first African American to play Major League Baseball in the modern era. He joined the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947. K is for Katherine Johnson, a mathematician at NASA whose calculations were critical to the success of the first U.S. manned spaceflight. L is for the Little Rock Nine, the 9 students who integrated Little Rock Central High School in 1957. The U.S. Army protected the students from violence. M is for Martin Luther King Jr., the most prominent figure of the civil rights movement who led peaceful protest against racial and social inequality in America. N is for the NAACP, the civil rights organization founded in 1909 to ensure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of all people. O is for Oprah Winfrey, a media executive, philanthropist, actress, talk show host, TV producer, and North America's first Black multi-billionaire. P is for Phyllis Wheatley, an enslaved West African who was sold to a family in Boston. She would become the first published Black female poet. Q is for Lloyd Quarterman, one of the few Black scientists to work on the Manhattan Project, a top-secret effort to build the atomic bomb during World War II. R is for Rosa Parks, an activist who refused to give up her seat to a white rider on a segregated bus. This helped spark the Montgomery bus boycott. S is for Shirley Chisholm, the first Black woman elected to Congress and the first woman to run for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. T is for Thurgood Marshall, a lawyer who won several important cases before the Supreme Court before becoming the first Black Supreme Court justice. U is for the Underground Railroad, a network of secret routes and safe houses used by enslaved people to escape to free states and Canada with the aid of allies. V is for the Voting Rights Act, the landmark piece of federal legislation enacted in 1965 to protect voting rights for racial minorities, especially in the South. W is for Wilma Rudolph, the athlete who overcame polio, racism, and sexism to become the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in a single Olympics. X is for Xavier University. Xavier University of Louisiana is a liberal arts college that is the only historically Black Roman Catholic college institution in the U.S. Y is for York, an enslaved man who participated in the Lewis and Clark expedition across the western U.S. as an explorer and hunter. Z is for Zora Neale Hurston, an author, anthropologist, and a central figure of the Harlem Renaissance, whose work highlighted racial struggles in the South. Black history is American history.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No 2 visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Here we are.
We're back again.
We are back again and glad to be here. Hope you've enjoyed what we've done today.
I thought we ought to mention all the stuff that's going on about Alzheimer's and in the area. Manchester's doing.
Well, we're getting ready to do Alzheimer's. Tennessee is getting ready to do Beyond the Rain, which is a Weldon Payne
over in
play
Manchester
that is going to be at the MAC on March the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and all the money will go to Alzheimer's Tennessee. And then this weekend on Saturday night we have the 3rd year of Pink is the Color of Hope concert, which is Troy Durham and Marty Scott and J.D. Honey and a really, really great band, and it's in honor of Troy's passing of his wife Andrea, breast cancer, and all the money goes to Sarah Cannon.
Which is a wonderful thing to do.
From that.
And
so,
it's been very successful.
Two very good events.
Marty was on the show
last week.
Right, and one comment he made was, if you don't like a lot of good old country.
It's what it is.
It's what it is. And
You don't like
I think that's great.
Hag and George Jones and Vern Gosden. And did I tell you about spending an afternoon with Vern Gosden?
No, you didn't.
My
when was that?
buddy Judd Matheny, he dabbled around in the music business with Stan Allen and different ones, Tim Daly, and he had one of them booked in a show at Zany's. And he called me up, and this girl that he was dating, this is before he got married, her brother did a Sunday night show at Zany's, and it was a country music show. And so we went up there, Stan and I went and met with Judd. Well, he had Vern Gosden in tow.
How great.
And we went to, I don't know if you'll remember, there used to be a Shoney's right there at the end of Music Row. Like you're coming downtown, there was a hotel there, and there was a Shoney's tucked into that hotel, right down the street from the Naked People. And we met him there. Vern was drunker than Cooter Brown. Is in the afternoon, and he had about this is probably 3 or 4 years before he died, maybe 5, I don't know. But he had about a 25-year-old gorgeous-looking woman tending for him and getting him where he needed to go, and there ain't no telling what she was getting paid for doing that. But we sat there.
She was making him look good, right?
She got him where he needed to be on time. And so we went over to Zany's that night, and it comes time for Vern to get on stage, and he couldn't even find the stage.
Oh, good grief.
He stumbles up there and starts playing. They start playing his song, couldn't remember the words to Chiseled in Stone. He mumbled through about half of it, said good night, and fell off the stage and went out the door, and that's the last time I saw Vern. So I spent an afternoon with Vern Gosden's story.
That was your name dropping for today.
That was it. Hey, folks, like we said early on in the show, we certainly do appreciate the honor you've given us, allowing us to be in front of you for 28 years, doing the crazy and funny and stupid things we do from time to time. But we hope we've made you laugh, we hope we've entertained you, and we hope we've imparted some wisdom and some information about what goes on around this wonderful little town in this area we live in. The addition of Peggy Burton several years ago has brought it to another level. We realize we now have credibility since she's here. But we just want to thank you from all of us at P-Head Productions, Julia, Phillip, all the boys in the back, my serial killer back there, Andrew, CJ, Jerry Harris, Jim Fuller, Pam Spencer, all of us just want to say thank you for the honor of letting us be in front of you on your TV. We'll see you next time.